Hey everybody, Crocilla here. We got an email last night from one of our adult students asking us about Brazilian jiu-jitsu etiquette. It was a conversation that we were having with some of the teenagers on the mat, and the email asked us to elaborate a bit more on what we mean. That way we're creating a good culture in the school. So it's a great question, and of course we'll touch on it now a little bit. I think most basic advice for someone that doesn't train here in this academy, first off, ask the head instructor, ask the professor, ask the coach what the rules are when you're training. A lot of schools, like this one here, does have rules and guidelines posted, like not leaving the mat, being prepared, being in a clean gi, don't teach while someone else is teaching. So there's a few rules that are usually baseline for every school, but also ask, because the culture in every academy or school, dojo, is a little bit different, and you want to make sure that what you do in New Jersey may not be translatable to New York, and what you do in New York might not be translatable to Florida. So it's important to ask the people that run the academy what they want from their students and what they want in a successful training session. A good reminder too is ask if they're acknowledging the belt systems and if there are certain submissions that aren't allowed. And a good rule of thumb is most schools follow the IBJJF belt system, where if you're a brown belt, you're allowed to do toe holds and knee bars, but if you're under that, you're not allowed. If you're a blue belt, you're allowed to do wrist locks, and if you're under that, you're not allowed, and typically no heel hooks allowed. So it's important that if you saw something on YouTube and you want to throw it on a person that has no experience and potentially hurt them, it could be a bad thing. So make sure you know what's allowed in the school and what's not allowed in the school. So always ask. And there are people that are always going to work on different things in their own time, but that's part of being a jiu-jitsu practitioner and having a good relationship with each training partner. Now, if you're a new white belt, the best advice we always try to give is roll at the senior's pace. 90% of people you train with in Brazilian jiu-jitsu that are above blue belt, they're not going to try to kill you day one. They've already done that. They're going to be working on some minor holes in their game, or they're going to be working on their defense. So they're going to give you room to work. Take advantage of that, but don't get too gratuitous. So if they let you get to the mount, don't immediately jump to double knee on belly or smash their face into the ground, because then they're going to get out, put a ton of pressure on you. Unless, of course, that's what you wanted from the beginning. Now, when you're rolling with a senior, it's a good chance to ask questions, but the worst thing you could do mid-round is stop and start to ask questions while you're rolling. Try to save that for after the class, unless, of course, the senior pauses the round and tells you, hey, work on this. Now, also acknowledge there is a culture in jiu-jitsu where some people, when they start to lose or they get tired, start to coach throughout the whole round. Avoid doing that. New white belt, when you're a purple belt, don't coach new white belts if they're submitting you. Don't coach a blue belt if they're knee on belly. Let them work. Let them make mistakes. We all need to. So if you're tired, just keep training. Try to roll at the senior's pace. They're going to usually give you good advice. They're not going to usually try to kill you. And if they are picking up the pressure, get to a safe position. You have to have that go-to when you're rolling. Now, the last thing is maybe you're the bigger person or maybe you're the smaller person. If you're the bigger person like I am, 230, 6'2", when I roll with someone that's 130 pounds, I'm not going to put my full weight on them. I am going to put some pressure down, but it's not going to be everything I ever had. A good rule of thumb is if you're much bigger, try to roll completely on technique, devoid of your strength. Now, if you're much smaller, obviously the opposite applies. You do want to be able to move your partner, but you have to be realistic. Don't use sweeps that aren't going to work on someone that outweighs you by 50 to 100 pounds. You also could just train with people around your own size. But as the rounds get later on in the day and you grab people that may be a little bit bigger than you, it's important to work with people that are bigger. It'll make your defense get better. It'll make you more confident. And there's no better place to train with bigger people than the people on your team. Now, with that being said, if you're the bigger person, you don't need to let everyone smaller than you beat you up. You're not their punching bag. Give them room to work. And obviously, if they're just not doing anything, sweep them. Knock them over. Take a better position, but you don't always need to kill them every single round. So the best advice when it comes to rolling etiquette is roll the way you want to be treated. It feels great to submit somebody, but it sucks to get submitted. So important to remember, like if you're submitting someone that's brand new for the 8th or 9th or 10th time, you've probably gone a little too far. If it's a 5-minute round, submit them once or twice. They'll know where you stand, and then they'll be more apt to work with you in the future. And of course, if you have any questions, ask the seniors above you. That's what their job is, to take care of you. All right, good luck with your training.